Hey friends, Mad Painter here, and today we shall be discussing your sexy, desirable self. How to be more attractive, even though I'm not proving this point right now, but hear me out. Hear me out, because this is part of the sexiness is one, learning how to listen, because we're going to learn how to listen in certain aspects of some things. And also not to be all caught up in our feelings. Because when we caught up in our feelings, it's hard for us to listen to certain things. So we are looking for people to be our peace. We are looking for someone to give our love to and someone to give us love. And we're oftentimes looking at this as a one-sided type of thing, like in what someone is looking like and their vibe, like how they're attracting us, like this magnetism, which is often, sometimes, a whole lot of times, sexual. And we're looking to get bigger than this and better than this. And I mean, that'll come into play somewhere once you become attractive and desirable. But we're not looking at this on a surface thing, because once we actually value ourselves and see this thing a whole nother way, baby, there's a sexiness to that. And then how we treat others, it's like, bomb.com. I sounded like an auntie right there. But this is how we get this swag of sexiness and become ultimate desirable. So this how-to part, we're going to be discussing how to experience this piece that you're looking for, how to be more attractive and desirable, and also to prevent this whole crash out situation. Because this crash out with dating and relationships and even with self, baby, that's not sexy. And so we're looking to be this sexy, desirable, attractive person on an entirety, on a being and not just a doing type of thing. And so this comes on layers. But where this video was, how this was inspired, so to speak, was the word that I just learned about last week, was the incel culture. And this incel culture is an involuntary celibate culture, predominantly online, male-dominated subculture characterized by intense misogyny, social alienation, and perceived entitlement to sexual or romantic relationships. Now, this is what I found on Google. It often blames women and societal structures for members' lack of intimate partners, creating an ecosystem that fosters self-loathing, hostility, and in extreme cases, violence. Now, the fellas that are in this group may not necessarily feel that particular way, and how that's worded, how they may feel can be a different type of way. And especially in given with this Chad and Barbie description, it's really giving me an outward type of thing. And when we're feeling this rejection, and yes, I'm saying we, because I'm not just pushing you guys out there on your own, but it's like this rejection inwardly. And it's a deeper inward rejection happening in there, which oftentimes come from foundational lack of love or how you were loved, etc., etc., etc. But the reason why I'm going into this we thing, because to an extent, brothers, I understand, because women get on my nerves too. But at the same time, sisters, I understand, because men get on my nerves. And just in seeing how we can have this hatred for people, I mean, you can label this however you want to label it. You hate men, you hate women, you hate fat people, you hate skinny people, you hate light-skinned people, you hate no-skinned people, you hate dark-skinned people, you hate long-haired people, short-haired people, brown, whatever, however you want to label the people, we have like a hatred. And so now going in this attraction situation, if you hating on folks, because here it is, on one level, we got hatred for this thing. And then on another level, it's like, but I want some loving. See how that's not matching up? So this is a conversation, and not to point at my incel culture brothers, but no, I'm hoping y'all listening, because just like you guys feel like that, there are the group of women that feel like that. I mean, it's a group of people that's hating on something. The bottom line is, to be more attractive, baby, eliminate the hate. So all this energy that we're putting in to the hate, I mean, let's redirect that and actually put it into learning about love. So, whole thing that I paid attention to, because this is the shorter version, because I'm gonna give you my version of how I see the shorter version of what I've been hearing from my mentors is you can't teach a man something that he already knows. He feels like he already knows. And I mean, sisters, I'm talking about y'all too. Just because I said man don't necessarily mean that I'm talking about the brothers, because I'm talking about us too. And so if we feel like we know something, do you know how much that's minimizing you and actually experiencing and getting to know something? Baby, this is, I mean, in reading about, I had to get comfortable because now we at the red table talk. But this is some good stuff. This ain't nothing that, you know, to be talking down and starting up some BS. But I mean, in looking at this, you know, especially in talking to a couple of brothers about it, the bottom line is in having a hard time getting a kudakata. And it's like, is this why we mad? It's a whole bunch of ways we can go about being attractive and get the kudakata, but it's like, no, this is why we got to look at this a bigger way. Because when you know love and appreciate the kudakata, I'm just putting you a little bit on game. Just putting you a little bit on game. Let me get back to my notes. So I'm looking at this culture, and I mean, no matter what you label it, it's in a whole bunch of other cultures. It's just labeled as something else, but we're just looking at it as hate. And then being more attractive, because I mean, you don't want to attract hate, because that's not really what we're looking for. And do you know how heavy that is? Boy, hate and fear it's heavy. That's some heavy stuff. It's hard to make love on some heavy stuff like that. Kanye West had this profound line, and even though I'm not going to exactly quote him on that, but I believe it came on his first album when he said something about hater men get with hater women and they have hater babies. And here we are. Look at the state of the countries, the Americas, and other places right now, because haters then got together and had hater children, and now these hater children hating the world. And do you see how that's not attracting any type of love? No, baby. So this is why we talking about this whole love situation. So we can justify and treat people however we want to and make up in our minds that this is why I'm treating so-and-so like that. But regardless of logically how you're making it in your mind why you're treating so-and-so however you're treating them, do you want to be treated like that? I mean, no, seriously, think about this. Do you want whatever this is or whoever this is that you're hating on, and you feel like you need to control them, and you feel like, now again, I'm not just talking to the incel culture. I'm talking to all of us that got this hate deep inside of us, but deeply we want some loving. And so how we go about getting the loving is that we become this loving. Get rid of that hate. And baby, it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna hurt. Because when you think you know the truth and you find out what the truth is, that hurt. Then it causes you to grow, but it's good hurt. So like this outside attractiveness, right? When you lifting weights and you get your muscles going, oh, that's sexy. But at the same time, you could be sexy on the outside and don't have no type of nothing on the inside. Rejection is God's protection. Now here, in looking for genuine love, but on the surface, you know, you're attracted to this pretty box, this pretty packaging. And you feel like because you got rejected by this beautiful package that, man, life is rejecting you because nothing beautiful is ever gonna love you. This is why we want to get to know love. Everything that's shiny or blingy is not gold and or diamonds. And especially this gold thing, because in finding out this whole thing, and like gold is like a heavenly thing. So here it's like we're learning the value of a thing. So you can have this this pretty package all wrapped up in this gold like foil, and you think it's something valuable, but on the inside it's doo-doo, la caca doo-doo. And if you were in a position to actually experience this, you probably feel way worse than what you feel now and truly be hating what you hate. And now you have an experience like this where I really hate it. And so it's like, friend, we have to change our perspectives on things and really look at how we see life. What do we look at as being truth? Because if we see ourselves as being unlovable and not being able to attract somebody to love us unless we had XYZ, first of all, baby, let me tell you how you need to stop believing that, because that's a lie. And it's seeing how God has this love for us. This is why we want to get to know love and not get people that's talking about God here and there. It's like a control mechanism. We got the 48 laws of power and the art of seduction. I'm going all off from my notes. I'm just been going somewhere, but let's just be 100 here. Skip the notes. So here we have the 48 laws of power and the art of seduction. You put all this time, and the art of war. You put all this time to learn how to conquer, how to get over, how to manipulate. Do you know how much energy and time that takes? And it's still going to be a level of vulnerability there, because when you no longer feel like you're in control in certain areas, that's when you feel vulnerable. That's when it feels like, what are you going to do? And you got to get your studying again and get your manipulation tactics on point. But when it comes to studying love, this is like, you're putting your vulnerability up front. And you're not doing this with a person, because I understand how, you show yourself vulnerable to people and they misuse it and drag you through the mud with what you were vulnerable, what you've shown vulnerable to them. Friend, and on another level, this is why when we call ourselves dating people, we give them just a little part, not for manipulation purposes, but this is the testing the waters and see. We don't want to be just so blind and pretend like we all so in love or all so want this. We can't allow a person to show us who they truly are beyond the surface, because the surface is going to change, and when the inside change, especially when we get into this love walk and getting to know love, you want it to change through growth and love, not change through selfishness, and now it's all about me, even though we've been together for 50 years. But, I feel like it's my time now. So this is why you want to take the time now to get to know love and hear what love has to say and how it values you, and how we can have a better idea of how to value others. Because, friend, again, we could look at something, and even still, here you have this illusion of something being beautiful, and I mean, they may feel like that too. And by the time you get them, they all worn out. You don't want no tied stuff. Because they feel like they looking so good, so they need to share all their goodness with the world. The other thing in this whole preparation thing, you have a desire to be with something, and I'm telling you, friend, you definitely want it to be bigger than just looks. And the same thing go with you. You want a person to love you and to be attracted to you for who you are, not what you have and what you can do for them. This is where this attractiveness comes in your being. Because where's my list? We have a lot of things outwardly that can make us attractive, which is dress, smell, style, swag, and value, using what we got. So I mean, like, you could be rich and could be shopping at the Louis Vuitton store, Or you could be working from a budget or working a certain kind of way and know how to keep up with your stuff, know how to shop at the thrift store, know certain thrift stores are where to shop at, where you could shop on a budget and be creative, but you could still have this swag, still do. One person might be wearing cologne, another person might be wearing oils, another person might have like some bomb body wash that they just like to smell clean all day. And this is what makes them feel good. So it's about finding out what makes you feel good. And this is, again, the outward thing. And this is not about size. This is not about color. It's about you developing who you are and feeling good about who you are. Now, this is just outwardly, but in looking on the inside, this inside, what makes the inside person attractive, we have self-control, awareness, patience, discipline, confidence, wisdom, genuine love, trustworthiness. And when you're tapped into your purpose, now just imagine these things. Any of the stars that you looked at, and I mean, of course, they can put on an illusion, but you can't put on an illusion of being tapped into your purpose, of being good at what you spent time in and put a discipline to. No, baby, but that's sexy. And see how that has nothing to do with anyone else per se, but the time that this person has invested into themselves. So imagine, like, bam, here it is. On one thing, you've invested time in improving yourself and in learning more. Not so much on the hate side, but in learning. Here you were given a gift of life. You have these abilities to learn. Well, I'll just stick it at that. You have, and whatever your gifts are and these giftings that you have, you can redirect this energy and apply it to what your interests are and develop them and improve them, and the things that truly get you excited, and you see where you can help other people in. This is the thing where it's like, ooh. And this is the thing that we develop. Do you know how sexy that is? That is sexy and attractive. So imagine when you tap into this with God. So here it is, this God situation. And here we have Christ. Now, okay, I get the thing with Christ, but here, again, the sexy part is we listening, we checking this out. We're going to the imagination station. So here we have Christ coming from a different realm. And in the realm in which he came from is divine and kingdom language. And with him, there is this ultimate love, right? Because this is what we looking for. It's like, man, this is like some cold transformation, like Transformer Power Ranger on a whole nother level. Because it's like this body come to anywho. I was about to go somewhere else with that. But so here it is where it's like one of those things. I've been there, done it. You know what it feels like. You know how unloving a lot of the people can be. And you know how a lot of the people need love. So it's like, okay, I've been there, done that. But he's not operating from a mind from this realm, nor from any of the kingdoms of this realm. And so since it's not in operation like that, now we are getting to a place where here we want to notice love and understand the love that was to be created for this place, but it may not necessarily be shown here. But now you have the opportunity to be used to show that love. So in getting to know this love through processing, it's like the language slowly starts to be revealed to us. So here we have this divine, loving kingdom language. So, I mean, we don't have to go to another realm. We can even go to wherever there are still kings and queens in existence. England, I think that's where we'll be. But right here in Chicago, we don't have kings and queens. Like, the extent of our kings and queens are gang members, the Latin kings and queens. Like, that's the extent of our royalty here out here on these streets. And so and seeing that, and even with them, there is a different language. And so I'm looking in an actual royalty that have a government system set up, they're not going to be having the same language as we will have in Chicago. They're not going to go about, it's like it's certain ways and going about using the authority, it's certain ways and going about addressing people, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I mean, a lot of us actually have no clue. I remember a situation back in the day when somebody was going to meet the queen and they was like, yo, what's up? And it was like, bro, you supposed to bow. And it's like, oh, well, we don't have that there where I come from, so I wasn't exactly sure what to do. And this is like what's happening right now. Is that in this walk we're learning what love is. We're learning how love sees us, and in this processing of love, we see what love is. We're being processed in, through, and with love, and we become love. So this is the point where you start to see, oh, this is how I be more loving to others, because now you have a constant contact with love within you. And when we get to this place of genuinely experiencing love, you get in that peace. You experience that peace. And I mean, you can't show nobody no peace if you haven't experienced the peace. It's like, I don't know where we going. I don't know what that look like. I'm guessing this is what this is. It's no, when it comes time to partnering up or being in spaces with people, you bringing the peace. Like Method Man, I came to bring the pain. You coming to bring the peace. And sometimes peace can be painful to people because they have yet to experience it. And this is again in part of our growing pains and us being transformed. Because baby, when you haven't experienced that peace and you're being changed, and it's like, but then when you get there, it's like, wow, this is what this is. And this is how we get to this point of starting and being in this presence, because this presence, in the presence of God, is where this peace is. And so when we get to being in his presence, this is where it starts off talking to God. We want to talk to God. We want to start praying. We want to make room to listen. Again, we started this off and talking about how sexy listening is. And we're not listening to respond. We're not listening to prove a point. And we're not listening to use and manipulate. Again, like we just talked about this vulnerable thing. And so we're learning to be vulnerable with God. God is love. And this is a thing where you don't have to just listen to me and believe me. This is a thing where he is not hard to find. I'm not making myself look attractive now whatsoever, but it doesn't matter because the word is going to make it attractive. And so when we start asking God, we want to get to asking God questions, and actually asking God the heart questions. Because we'll have these questions like, why did you make me like this? Why am I not attractive to XYZ? Or why can't I find love? Let's start asking more, Lord, what is it that you want me to see? Lord, please open my eyes to your love, to how you value me. So we have Ephesians 3:14 through 21. This is a prayer asking for God to show you his love in so many words, and for you to know this love intimately. So in reflecting on this prayer, and I'm looking at this time, I'm probably going to have to make this a part 2 on this video with this crash out part, but because that's the whole thing in itself. But in looking at the part in the beginning of Genesis, whenever we're reading the Bible, every time you crack the back of that bad boy open, ask for God to give you spiritual understanding, for him to open your eyes. What it showed me in Genesis is here in being offered to know all things. What it showed me is that you can have all of the knowledge of the world and still not know God. But when you get to know God and his love, he'll share with you all of the knowledge of the world. And it's in this relationship where you will receive revelation of these things. Because low key, some stuff that people be wanting to know, it's none of our business and really doesn't help us with our relationship with God or even help in our faith. And so this is where we want to get to know love and get to know ourselves, because in getting to know love, we do get to know ourselves. It opens the door for us to better analyze ourselves through the eyes of love, and also open the door for God to speak, for him to he has such a dope way of connecting and talking to us. Because this is why I have this page and do this talk thing, to encourage people to actually see God for yourself. Because people will look at the Bible and it's like, yes, I got the Bible, I got all the answers. But this is like having one of your parents' journals, and you're just basing everything off of what the parent said to you in a journal, as if the parent is gone. But God is a living God. So not only do you have his journal and you got all these like secret tidbits up in there, you can call him up and ask him like, yo, I just read this part up in here. What was that talking about? Or what did that mean? Or what were you showing them? And it's like, when you are, this is sexy, baby, because this is what's helping you out. When you're in a relationship with people and you're really interested in them and getting to know them, and have a desire to listen about the things that they're interested in, and the things that they're involved in and what they're working on, do you know they'll be more willing to include you in on their interests into their life? So this is what, man, sexy looks like: attractiveness. And it starts with self. So even though, like right now, it looks like I'm by myself, but God is always with me. And when we get to this place where he's like dwelling in us and it's constant communication, like even while I'm talking to you right now, I'm talking to him. Because I mean, in being a person and then just straight rambling on and talking just about this relationship, I could be making mistakes in my wording and how I'm going about saying certain things. But that love energy, and like, man, what I'm sharing with you, man, sis, what's being shared here with all of us, man, that's no mistake. You didn't land on this by mistake. And even the things that you're feeling and the battle that you're having is not by mistake. Don't beat yourself up. But now, instead of continuously carrying that hate, continuously looking to take it out on someone else, let's just take a little sit down and let's just take a little breather and just be in a little quiet space and make some room for God. So since we're hitting the 30-minute mark on this, and this whole talk on the crash out will be a little bit longer, I'm going to have part 2 of becoming more attractive, your sexy and desirable self. This part 2 is going to be next week, and we're going to go talk more into this crash out situation. But even though I did not go into depth with the crash out part, still this knowing thyself and getting to know yourself and getting to know yourself through the eyes of love, this will help minimize these crash outs. This will help you be more aware, have a heightened self-awareness of where you are, which again, I will go deeper into that next week. So until next time, friends, for next week. But right now, we're working on being sexy, being desirable, being more attractive. And it starts off with experience and love. I love you. God loves you even more. Experience and find out why. How? I mean, it's a transformational thing, friend, and he could show you way better than I could tell you. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.